Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick a gun and customization for me to use. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with in Battlefield Hardline or Battlefield 4. Today's top comment comes from Frank Duck. He says the Golden Age of Gangsters loadout. The AWS will be doubling for the Thompson, also the Tommy gun, I suppose, in this situation since it has a drum-style magazine. We'll be using the iron sights, heavy barrel, stubby grip for practicality, and any woodland camo as a wooden stock. It doesn't really look like a wooden stock, but it's the best we can do in Battlefield 4. CZ75 Browning high-powered pistol is the sidearm, no attachments, default paint. Use any gadgets you want. Grenade is the M43 incendiary, doubling as a Molotov. You're now a notorious gangster. Use your arsenal to take care of threats to your organization. Now, I love the AWS light machine gun. It, at one point in time, was without a doubt one of the best machine guns in the game. Then they nerfed it a little bit, but not too much. It's still a great light machine gun, probably one of my favorites out there. I haven't used it in a while because it's just so good. I feel a little bit dirty while using this weapon, and you're going to see me go on some just disgusting kill streaks throughout this video. Even while using these somewhat obstructive iron sights, I'm able to decimate people with just a volume of fire as opposed to accuracy. Now, traditionally, LMGs are not particularly accurate weapons. You can be pretty accurate with the AWS, but you're going to need to sort of tap fire and do small bursts, and you're probably also going to want a red dot sight. With the iron sights, I mostly just relied on lots of bullets rather than a few accurate bullets to take down my targets. Now, the AWS falls right in line with the M249 or the MG4 light machine guns. They're all very, very similar to one another, slightly different in terms of their recoil, and one of the main differences between this gun and the M249 and the MG4 is that it has a 100-round drum magazine instead of a 200-round box magazine. The advantage is that you can switch out the magazine a lot quicker with this weapon, but you just don't have as many bullets overall. It does pretty much the exact same damage as those other two guns, except its range falls off a little bit shorter. Basically, you hit 18 damage minimum a little bit sooner than the other two LMGs. It's not really a big deal because at extreme ranges anyway, it's going to take you a while to down your opponent. The quick and easy way to describe this weapon is that it's an LMG that performs in many ways like an assault rifle. It's got a slightly faster reload with a 100-round magazine, and you can pretty much use it as you would an assault rifle, but instead of having to be limited to that 30-round magazine, you can shoot a lot more people and take down a lot more targets. This is great for getting follow-up kills, which is something you absolutely have to do in Battlefield, and it's one of the reasons why I love LMGs so much, because they really are some of the best guns in the game for dealing with multiple threats. And if you play Battlefield, chances are you're going to turn the corner and see a whole squad of guys. There's no other weapon I would rather have than an LMG for dealing with all of them. Sure, the hipfire accuracy isn't great on these things, but that's certainly not a deal breaker, and most of the time when I'm hipfiring, people are close enough that it doesn't really matter what my hipfire accuracy is. You have enough ammo and a fast enough rate of fire to deal with them regardless. Now, in terms of the size of this weapon translating to what a Thompson is, it's not even close. The Thompson shoots 45 ACP. This thing shoots 5.56. It's a totally different caliber weapon. It's a way larger weapon. This is a machine gun. The Thompson is an SMG. I mean, there's just so few things that translate between the two weapons other than the fact that they kind of use drum magazine styles, although this is a double drum where the Thompson uses a single drum. Same ammo capacity though, so if that's what we're going for in terms of similarity, yes, both weapons can carry 100 rounds before you need to reload. Now, one cool thing about the way the AWS is set up in this loadout is it's using the heavy barrel and the stubby grip. Both of these attachments affect the amount of bullets spread and how much the spread increases. So not only are you going to get a gun that's shooting more accurately from the start, but its bullet spread is going to decrease slower, so you're going to get much more accurates when you burst fire and even full auto fire with this gun. There is going to be more vertical recoil though, but I didn't have too much trouble controlling that, and it allowed me to be a lot more effective with this weapon at further ranges. Again, my biggest hindrance was the iron sights. If a target was standing still, then not really much of an issue, but if a target was moving around quickly, it was very hard to track with the iron sights, and I kind of wanted to go back and see how effective I could be using a red dot sight. Now, of course, I ended up playing with this weapon a lot on TDM just to get the focused infantry killing potential, and 64-player TDM plus LMGs is really a match made in heaven. Lots of infantry targets, lots of enemies. You can just keep shooting, racking up the kills. It works really well. I also played quite a bit on Conquest Large on Zavad 311 with 64 players, and that worked well because even though it was a Conquest game mode with tanks and APCs, that map is still heavily dominated by infantry forces. So it was fun to sort of see vehicles, dance around them, try and C4 them and stuff, but also get a lot of infantry kills. It's a little bit more fun to play an objective-oriented game mode. Speaking of which, you'll also get a lot more points. If you're interested in ranking up and getting more battle packs and all that stuff, play objective-oriented game modes like Conquest. You won't get quite as many in Rush unless you're always arming or disarming MCOMs, but Conquest provides you a lot of opportunities because when you're capping flags, you're getting points. If you're on a flag getting kills, you get extra flag defense points and all that kind of stuff. So there's just a lot of ways to maximize your point game when playing Conquest. And still, it's one of the best game modes, I think, in Battlefield 4. Always a classic for Battlefield. I don't think this game mode's ever going away. Now, as far as the other equipment in this loadout, I really didn't use my sidearm at all. That's one of the benefits of an LMG. You don't really need to switch to your sidearm. You have so many freaking bullets. What's the point? Using incendiary grenades, though, not my favorite. They are so much better in Hardline. I really, really love incendiaries and Molotovs in Hardline, but they're just not that useful in BF4. They kind of create a little bit of a smoke cloud here and there, but I'd much rather just have a standard M67 frag. And then, of course, I ran with ammo box and C4 to take care of any pesky vehicles or blow through walls that were getting in my way. And this particular clip here on Zavad 311 really provided me with so many kills because using an unsuppressed weapon with pretty much unlimited ammo attracts a lot of people to your location. And if you know they're on their way and they're coming to hunt you down, you can really set yourself up for some good ambush points. And that's one of the oldest yet best tactics in shooters is if you know your opponent knows exactly where you are, take advantage of that. Make them think that you're not ready for them, or get some good cover, or pop around the corner before they pop around the corner. Catch them off guard, and basically just be aware of what your opponent knows and what your opponent's probably thinking in any situation, and try and outsmart them at all times. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Loadout. I would highly recommend this gun setup. Just with your red dot sight of choice on there, you will be a killing machine. Don't forget to leave your comments for the next episode, and as always guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.